Good morning. I'm Ralphio Rivera, the president of the Oakland Cemetery Lot Owners Association. Thank you. In 2018, our board underwent a reorganization with a clear mission to ensure that the gates of Oakland Cemetery remained open. Through the remarkable leadership of Lynn McBee, Mary Jelonic, Rebecca Todd, the OCLOA successfully revitalized Oakland Cemetery, restoring it to its former glory. These dedicated individuals collaborated with Councilman Adam Bazaldua, the City of Dallas District 7 office, to develop a strategic plan for preservation. During this time, Lynn, along with Linda Findley and Barbara Ware, undertook the challenging task of compiling all the necessary documentation to meet Texas Historical Commission requirements. Historical records were recovered and archived in the Dallas Library, while others, lost in a fire, had to be painstakingly tracked down. Thanks to the diligence and dedication of Tom White, Virginia Paredes, Monica Newberry, and Marcia Smith, many of the lost stories and records have been restored. During this revitalization, Linda and Barbara worked tirelessly, compiling history of many of Dallas' earliest pioneering families and piecing together the grand puzzle of our great city. Today, it is my honor to stand before you as we unveil the Oakland Cemetery historical marker. I would like to thank Linda Findley, Barbara Ware, Monica Newberry, the Oakland Cemetery Lot Owners Association Board of Directors, the Friends of Oakland Cemetery, and the many volunteers and family members who have contributed countless hours to the cause. With that, it is my privilege to present the official proclamation from Senator Royce West's office, which reads as follows. The Senate of the State of Texas, Senate Resolution number 308, whereas the Senate of the State of Texas is pleased to join supporters of the Oakland Cemetery and residents of Dallas County in celebrating the dedication of the site's official Texas historical marker on April 5th, 2025. And whereas, established in 1892 in what was considered rural Dallas County, Oakland Cemetery now sits only a few miles from the Dallas downtown thriving area and is the final resting place for some of the city's most notable citizens. And whereas, early Dallas leaders, politicians, veterans, and prominent families who helped build the city are buried in Oakland Cemetery. However, its owners and managers struggled to maintain the site as an ongoing concern, and it was closed in 2018. And whereas, over the past 5 years, dedication of volunteers have mounted restoration efforts to keep this beautiful historical space open, operational, and have worked hard to obtain the historical designation. Their efforts have paid off, as the cemetery received its historical marker in December 2024. Visitors can once again see the graves of their ancestors and enjoy the cemetery's architecture and magnificent heritage trees. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Senate of the State of Texas 89th Legislature hereby commend all who have worked to preserve the history and legacy of Oakland Cemetery and extend best wishes for a memorable Texas historical marker dedication ceremony. And it be further resolved, this copy of this resolution be prepared as an expression of esteem from the Texas Senate. President of the Senate, signed, Dan Patrick. We would now like to proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't have a flag with us right now, so we got, here we go. Ready? You know the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job.
Woo! Yay! Thank you, Peter.
We'd now like to proceed with Texas, Our Texas, and the national anthem with Nancy Moore.
Please sing along. Our Texas, all hail the mighty state. Texas, our Texas, so wonderful, so great. Boldest and grandest, withstanding every test. Oh, empire wide and glorious, you stand supremely blessed. God bless you, Texas, and keep you brave and strong, that you may grow in power and worth throughout the ages long. Texas, our Texas, your freeborn single star sends out its radiance to nations near and far. Emblem of freedom, it sets our hearts aglow with thoughts of sun seen through and the glorious Alamo. God bless you, Texas, and keep you brave and strong, that you may grow in power and worth throughout the ages long. Please stand for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Star-Spangled Banner yet waves o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Play on.
We would now like to ask Lynn McBee to present a brief history and the introduction of distinguished guests.
Yay, Lynn.
Well, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here today to witness something truly meaningful, something that is both personal and powerful. Oakland Cemetery is officially being recognized for what it has always been, a sacred piece of Dallas's history. My journey with Oakland started in a way that was both unexpected and deeply personal. About 25 years ago, I received a call from Alan's mother. Someone had desecrated the graves of their great-grandparents. Beautiful urns stolen, stones stoppled, dignity stripped away. So we came out here. I'll never forget that day. The cemetery was hauntingly beautiful, but it was heartbreakingly neglected, overgrown, and forgotten. Still, we filed a police report, as was required, and went on with our lives. Or so I thought. Fast forward nearly a decade. In August of 2019, while I was reading the paper and always reading Robert Wolanski, an article in the Dallas Morning News was there, and his words shocked me. As I read about this historic cemetery, abandoned, falling into disrepair, a posted sign that read, in bold type, "Oakland Cemetery has ceased operation." I had a visceral reaction. I remember saying, "Oh my God, is that the same cemetery? This can't be. How can you just close a cemetery?" I knew I had to do something. So I reached out to Dallas City Councilman Adam Bazaldua. He had just been elected, and I said, "I want to help." And so I did. But what I didn't realize at the time was just how hard it would be. The cemetery had no money. The bylaws had not been updated since the turn of the century, literally. There was no infrastructure, no plan, just 50 acres of Dallas's history sinking under the weight of time and neglect. But I started making calls. I remembered names I'd seen on headstones, Jelonic, Minyard, and I reached out to those folks that I knew that had roots here. At a Christmas party later that year, I ran into Becky Todd, who told me her mother was buried here. I met Monica and Ralph, who were out here with push mowers taking care of their own family plots, because perpetual care had never really been perpetual. Tom White, a dedicated volunteer that was brought into action with the Find a Grave, was out here and found a reason to come out all the time. So we got to work. Councilman Bazaldua activated the various city departments and solicited help from other organizations across the country in an effort to help the cause. So much so that at the time, Wolanski wrote that Adam had done more for the dead during his short tenure than many of his predecessors ever did for the living. We rewrote the bylaws, we reincorporated, we raised money, we held picnics, we honored the stories and the people laid to rest here, including Alan's great-grandparents, including your families, civic leaders, and everyday citizens, people who built Dallas in ways both big and small. As Wolanski eloquently stated, the ground here cares not for color or status or situation. Those treated well by Dallas and those brutalized by the city share the same dirt. Robert's article helped shine a light, but the community stepped forward. Today, this marker is more than just a recognition of the past. It's a promise that history matters, that care matters, that Dallas remembers. Thank you, Linda Finley and Barbara Ware, for your efforts in making this, what we're about to do, possible. We all want to believe that the people we love, our families, our ancestors, are being looked after, that their memories are not left in places overtaken by weeds or crime or indifference, that they rest in peace and not in neglect. So thank you to our board, past and present, the Friends of Oakland Cemetery, every volunteer, every neighbor, every donor, every person who believed that a broken, beautiful place like Oakland Cemetery deserved another chance. Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce our distinguished guests, and we will first hear from Adam Basil Dua, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem for this council district.
Thank you, Lynn. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I know that y'all are here and awake and ready to celebrate this historic moment. We're here today to celebrate a historical marker, designation of Oakland Cemetery. But more importantly, we're here because we understand the deep historical significance of this site. From 2019 to now, Oakland Cemetery has undergone a transformative journey. Under new care and a surge of volunteerism, we've witnessed a long neglected treasure evolved into a space where families can once again honor their loved ones and a site our community can be proud of. When we look around Oakland Cemetery, we see a striking range of people laid to rest here. The lives they lived could not have been more different, from socioeconomic backgrounds to race to the circumstances of their passing. And yet, they all share one thing in common. They found rest within the same 60 acres. Sitting with that reality compels us to reflect. A large part of my job is thinking deeply about how we can make intentional policy decisions that help build a more just and equitable world, one where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. But sometimes we forget that the most universal symbol of that shared human experience is found here in our cemeteries. We cannot afford to lose spaces like these. They are vital to our history. They remind us that despite our differences and hardships, we all return to the same earth. Cemeteries are spaces of celebration, remembrance, and preservation. I'm proud that this marker brings us one step closer to ensuring that Oakland's legacy endures forever. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the dedicated staff, the board members of the Oakland Cemetery, the Friends of the Oakland Cemetery, Oakland Cemetery Lot Owners Association, and the members of the Dallas County Audubon Society for their tireless efforts to preserve not only the historic legacy, but also the rich and diverse wildlife that calls Oakland Cemetery home. Going off script, I want to say that when I got that, I believe it was a Twitter message from Lynn McBee, it was one that really opened my eyes to a need here. And when you walk through or drive through this cemetery and you see the names on these stones, and you realize that it's the same as driving through our city and you see the same names on street signs. So much of the history is here. And I'll tell you, this was very early on in my first term. I never thought I would learn so much about how a cemetery operates than that moment right there. But I cannot thank Lynn McBee for her leadership, because it took someone to really care enough. People don't realize how easy it was to overlook a site where people who weren't alive were left. But everyone